ya ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you. Oh!
Ahoy there, mateys, and welcome aboard another episode of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast live. I'm your captain, Jim Bob Ovalshorts, and from wherever you're watching out there this evening, whether you're coming in from Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, or Kick, we thank you for choosing to set sail with us on our weekly adventure. And shiver me timbers, does it look like it's going to be a fun one. With me tonight, of course, I have some of our favorite crew members that you guys all know and love. First off, I'm going to call in here is Luis. Luis, how are you doing this evening, my friend?
Alive, but with some influence from the influenza.
Oh no. Is it the bird version or the pig version or the human version?
I wish I could tell you.
Oh, you don't. Oh Lord. He's gonna change. He's gonna change into man bear pig, guys. Look out! We're gonna have to be on the lookout for this one. Good Lord. Well, I do thank you for joining us this evening, Luis. I hate to hear that you feel bad, but I am thankful that you're here to be with us this evening for all of our nonsense that we always got going on out here. So thank you so much. And to my surprise, I have Neptune in here with us this evening as well. He I didn't think he was going to make it this week, but here he is popping in to join us for all of our nonsense. How you doing tonight, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Oh man, just hanging in there. I'm glad to hear from you. I know you've been a little silent in the group chat this week. I figured you were busy with work.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then,
You should tell us about those adventures with,
giving a deer a fake high five at 70 miles an hour.
I mean, I didn't want to throw it on out there, but if you're welcome to talk about it if you'd like, man. I'm glad you're okay. That's for sure.
Man, after the first 5 minutes of that, I had to just take stock and be like, man, it is what it is. So, no, I am.
You're part of a prestigious club of deer hitter survivors.
I am fortunate that I was able to walk away from that, considering the damage it caused. And yeah, it's likely a total loss to the car, but still. Yeah, here I am. Got a little whiplash and may have had a mild concussion, maybe. I don't really know for sure. Like, a little bit of my faculties feel like they're a little messed up in the membrane a little bit, but no, physically, I'm all right. So that for which I say that I am very fortunate. So.
Well, hey man, that's it. It's always dangerous, especially down here in Georgia. And I know where you were traveling through. I know where you were traveling through. It's Deer City, man. Like they're all over the place there.
And I guess I made the deputy laugh a little bit because I told him had it not disabled my car, I would have dragged that son of a bitch home. So all he could do was laugh.
I'm sure, and then knowing the state of Georgia, they probably had someone pick it up and bring it on down to the prison to make mincemeat for dinner because that's just the way they roll in the state. Prove me wrong. Like I know this is some truth. Like it's a terrible thing, And then folks are rolling in from a couple different places. Again, welcome. We thank you. Of course, there'll also be people that will be catching this on the rerun over there on the audio and on BitChute. So we thank you guys for choosing us over there as well. It's much appreciated. Bandit and Steven are in the air, so if they pop in halfway through this thing, they pop in halfway through this thing. If not, it's no big deal. I did wish that Bandit would be here this evening because I wanted to kind of give recognition where it's due, because Bandit, all the hard work we put into memes and nonsense like that and all these podcasts and stuff, and Bandit screenshots a TikTok. It takes 2 different screenshots and he glues it together and shares it on Facebook, and it's went bananas viral. I'm talking 56 million people have viewed it, type nonsense, and in a week, and we have gained up to 18,000 followers. So hey, thank all of you out there that are now following us and coming and hanging out and watching the kind of crazy nonsense we got going on, because hey, it's kind of neat. But we're over there on a couple Facebook pages, but that's our main one for the show and whatnot. This is actually where you guys are watching, if you are watching on Facebook, over there on Captain Conspiracy and the Freedom Pirates. And the screenshots of the daggum ski masks, man. I'm trying to get it pulled up real quick to share it out here on the show, but he shared these screenshots, and
I give
it went crazy.
I give him all the credit in the world, but for all the dank, stupid, spicy memes that I make, and it only takes one to just set it off like a freaking rocket, and here we are.
I mean, it's just.
Aren't you
I'm
the
here for it.
author of many TED ones?
I mean, we're the hey, I'm just trying to give him some recognition. I wish he was here to get the recognition.
He absolutely earned it for this one.
And this is all it was he took these screenshots, and it has grown and gone so crazy. It has gone so crazy. If you go down here, first of all,
idea. Nobody's gonna fuck with your car,
right?
Nobody's gonna fuck with your car. They're gonna walk by you all six and walk really far away from your car.
So almost 600,000, reactions. There's 1,900 or something comments, and almost we're up to 900 and something thousand shares. It just keeps going. We made a link so people could buy them, because people have been sending messages endlessly to the page asking where we can buy them at, and so I'm not even gonna lie, I've got the link. I'll totally share it with this episode too. Y'all go buy some ski masks, put them on your thing. But it's been shared so many times and all over the place, just so much. It's that we gained 18,000 followers. So we want to thank everybody that's now aboard on the ship, because hey, that's pretty awesome.
Old man cry.
I mean, it is. 2 weeks ago or so, we were celebrating that we had finally got 10,000 followers on Facebook, and it's not over. We're on Defeat the Media. We've got 25,000 over there. It's one point in time on TikTok, I think I had 140 something thousand.
It's the getting pegged down every single time you win.
Yes, it's the getting knocked out, and so it just takes so long to get back up to this. And we've survived 3 recent Facebook purges to continue to be on here. And as Bandit would say, and I'm going to say for him, it's all about we have a message that we want to spread, and if they're not going to let us spread it by using the actual context, we have to make it funny and turn it around and find a way to be able to talk about it, because we still have to spread that message. My days of getting banned, I did my time, 20 something, up to 20 something Facebooks and all these other these pages and stuff like that. And I want to continue to show my message. So that's why when we talk about certain people, we call it Winnie the Flu, or we talk about Winnie the Pooh, or just other things like that, because there's no reason to get our hands dirty and get thrown away for nonsense. You know what I mean? Instead, let's make fun of it. It's clown world. Let's just rock with it. So I mean, hey, honking is the way to go about things, because why not? It's just where it needs to be. So I've got a good list of things that have happened in the past week. I really don't know where to begin. I've got so much good things, man. Even after the moment, and I think this is where we'll go. Even after the moment that we shut down last Wednesday, Thursday, things were popping off the charts with apparently everybody on TikTok talking super extra about that letter that was translated in English and then deleted by the Guardian and then published by yours truly at unconstitutionalawakening.com so that people could see what it actually said. And it the letter
Just
I'm
look at the
referring to,
reactions.
I'm a little
The
out of the loop
yeah,
here. You guys are going to have to fill me in.
the letter
Laden.
the letter I'm referring to is Bin Laden's letter to America. It went viral on TikTok because people have found it again and started reading it. This thing's quite old, and there's actually been a few 9/11 type things that have come out this past week that are quite interesting, and it definitely makes people that are in that 9/11 truth community have some new questions to ask for sure.
Yeah, I would be curious to see this.
I published it in English over at unconstitutionalawakening.com because the Guardian decided that they didn't want to have it up anymore, that they didn't need to have it in English for everybody to see. So since the Guardian deleted it, I'm pulling it up right now. Since the Guardian deleted it, I did everyone the service of bringing it back so that everyone could see.
The thing is, it was people's reaction that was really disturbing. They're like, I'm questioning my relationship with America, and like,
I mean, it's an interesting thing
that just hates this country.
True. But there are some things that seem to be quite relevant to ongoing world issues today. Like,
you don't need a lesson from a guy that was living in the caves
You're correct. I am not by any means saying like this dude should be praised.
What was the leader of the Mujahideen who was created by the CIA?
Yes, but there's where I'm getting into. This is somebody that at one point in time, maybe all the way up to the end, hell, he could be living in Jersey running a bodega for all we know, under a different persona.
I doubt the guy's alive.
Hey,
he had
he's
dialysis
absolutely
problems.
Hey,
I mean, even if the U.S. Navy SEALs hadn't popped him, the dude was already on dialysis and dying anyway. So.
Okay,
yeah, and he's six.
Okay,
what?
so
wait, he's 6'5" or 6'6". He was really tall, so he can't hide.
Can I throw a rebuttal? I'm on the lines of believing, because there is documentation to prove it, apparently from our own government, that Adolf was in Argentina for quite a long time after he supposedly died.
Yeah.
So if there's a plausibility to that, like there's a plausibility. There's a plausibility.
The sketchiness of Bin Laden's circumstances, specifically to me, are that he somehow got younger with every video that ever came out.
Yes.
It's the strangest thing in the world, though. I am reading this right now, and this is probably not the right time to talk about UN Resolution 181, because if I talk about it in plain speech, I'm probably going to wind up getting myself unalived or knocked off the internet for good. There's so many mentions here of Palestine and the larger implications of.
I'm just saying.
Effery, excuse me for not. I'm trying to not use swear words since we're live, but
of course,
you get where I'm going with that.
I do.
When you factor that England almost set Palestine up for failure, almost can't feel bad for Palestine in the first place.
I found something kind of, I guess, interesting when I actually went researching for this letter, which was posted, or it's a news article and I'll be honest with you, I do not know from what country it is, but it because it just translates it for me automatically over here with Brave. I don't know, it's just how it works. And it was done in October of 2017, and it happens to be some more that additional things to that letter that that's up there
Mhm.
in the means of like his diary and such. And it's there's a lot of interesting things. I'll definitely share this link with you. It'll be with this episode out there where you guys are watching and such, of course, at the end of it, so that you guys can check back these stuff yourself. But like, it's there's some interesting things in here, man. And again, I'm not trying to praise another crazy person in the world, but I am saying
there's
some interesting points made. Some very interesting points made.
There is an implication in this entire in the entirety of this letter, of this journal entry, diary entry, whatever you want to call it, that anyone who is fundamentally a follower of Islam absolutely will forever, now and until the end of time, hate England and hate the United States.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of 20th century implications there. Again, UN Resolution 181. Please look it up for yourself. I am not going to read back the text. That is
You're talking about the 2001 document from the
UN
UN
Resolution 181 is the mandate of Palestine in 1947. That was immediately following the war, and that was how Palestine and Israel were carved up. I am not going to repeat the language verbatim, otherwise I am at risk of getting Jimmy's entire podcast shut down. So, yeah. UN Resolution 181, very controversial, and
hey,
something
now
that
I do. How about though? I do have something for you, since we're talking about letters from our government and stuff like that. I got my hands on, thanks to Bandit, a copy from the Department of the Army, letters that were sent to 8,000 former service members.
Oh yes, please.
Oh,
Could you actually show?
I have to hear about
that letter.
I saw something about
must
this,
be so.
and
We're so sorry for trying to inject this experimental technology into your arm and forcing you out of your job because you didn't want us to inject you with experimental technology.
So I'm not gonna say the trigger words because of where we are, but like
experimental technology.
yes, yeah, that's a perfect word to use. Like and
a way
dude,
from Jimmy, is there a way I can zoom this in, because I can't really read it from where
I wish there it is actually in our personal group chat. If you go back, I'll resend it here momentarily so that you can read it, but all the way out loud. I'm avoiding reading it out loud because of some of the word context that were in it, and I know someone specifically that would be very, very profound in talking about this. Our good buddy Carson. I hope he's watching out there. I hope he catches the replay of it, because he was directly affected. He was one of these service members that I'm pretty sure got this letter because he was directly affected by this. And,
Carson, was he one of the people that got pushed out because he refused to take the
correct?
No, he took. Wait.
He did the first round, and that was all he did.
So he wouldn't do those booster
experimentals. Yes, experiment. He didn't want to take any part in it. He didn't want to take any part in it.
Sure. Wow.
I mean, it's logical. He didn't want to. He's a young guy. He didn't want to mess up his heart.
This is the absolute state of it, and I'm not going to speak for Bandit because he's not here, but I'll have my own opinion, and I can say this much: is that this is the hubris of where we are as a society with recruiting and retention. Is that they are retroactively realizing that they screwed up in a really bad way. And hey, now let's try to get you guys back in before we open the possibility of a draft where we're no longer going to require Winnie the Flu jabs in the first place.
There we
You know what
go.
I mean? And
There we go.
that's it's a failure of imagination almost.
Oh no! Oh
in
no.
my view,
Well, actually, to
like
a
there's
kicker,
no one, possibly no one could have seen this coming, right?
there's a kicker to go along with this.
I mean,
this week.
we likely thought about it. I thought that they were gonna get him back. They were gonna
Well,
try.
oh yeah. But there's also another kicker that goes along with this same kind of subject this week. And since we're already here, I figured we'll just go ahead and jump on over to it. Oh, what's his name? Steve Kirsch. I'm probably butchering it. I'm terrible at names, but he's the MIT guy that's going live on Thursday night to debate about that experimental
Oh,
technology.
dude, that's gonna be. I want to
That's
watch
gonna.
that.
I want to watch it too. Like
He's not
those,
gonna get anybody. He's not gonna get anybody that to come. He's
there
just gonna debate by
was
himself.
100%. Nobody's coming out there, but this letter was sent to MIT students, right? The other day,
The MIT, the active MIT like students that like to come to be in person.
and so it's basically him inviting them to come check it out. It's because it's going to be at the auditorium, and he's going to stream it live at 6 p.m. on Rumble, and he is going to lay all of the truth that's out there. Like he was kind of like the stuff that was kind of going to go down on Joe Rogan, but never really happened, and he's just
Joe
going to do
Rogan,
it.
I think, offered
Like,
millions to charity. Joe
yeah,
Rogan and many others contributed, and it became millions of dollars that would have gone to whatever charity of choice. If what was his name? That like little rat that spoke as if he was a doctor, and supposedly he invented some things, but we doubt how effective those things are.
yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't.
Cohoes,
Yeah,
something
the
like
guy,
that.
something Cotes.
Yeah, some rat like that. He's a little rat. All he did was toe the corporate line and never spoke about actual health related topics.
I hate to be the guy that's standing here saying with the "I told you so" because I'm just not really like that. But I lost a good career that I was in at the time that I thought was a good career, and a whole bunch of other things and friends and seen the world. A lot of people, even for myself, had to see a lot of things in a different perspective, etc. And like I made it through just fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fighter. I'm somebody that keeps going no matter what. But like the fact that I have so many "I told you so's" why I stood on a hill and they still fired me anyway, for the same exact thing that's starting to come back and bite them in the ass right now. So
they don't have a hill to die. They do not have a hill to die on.
Absolutely not at this point.
And that's you know what? All I can say is whatever moral implications people thought that they had, well, good luck. Have fun.
Right.
I have nothing for you is the only phrase that I have for anyone who tries to virtue signal that away. It was the right decision at the time. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay. Bye. Have fun.
I love all of these the right decision at the right time kind of folks. I don't understand.
I've met many people that regret it.
I don't understand.
Sadly, I have to. I know several people personally, one of which is very dear to me. She only did do the first shot. She refused to do the booster things. She already has health problems that are directly related to the side effects of taking the first shot, and she still regrets it to this day. But peer pressure, it's a thing, and I just don't know what else to say to that.
Where's the peer pressure that Dare promised me when I was a kid that there's going to be a bunch of people offering me free drugs because I have yet to come across that. Like, don't get me wrong. I occasionally
have.
score some awesome free drugs, and I'm not complaining. But I'm like, I don't understand. Like, where are all the people on the side of the road being like, "Hey, kid, you want to, do some whatever?" And I never got that lucky. Maybe because
I
I'm in the
have.
country.
No, here they do.
No, I'm sure they do in New York City, huh? That's why Dare was probably created.
Yeah.
So
Keep going. I'll be back in just a second.
no, you're absolutely good, buddy. So all right. So this gets me going on something that we were kind of discussing a little bit prior to coming on this evening, Luis. That guy down there in Argentina, we spoke on him earlier this week. He decided to put out a letter and such where he is closing down all of the central banks or whatever down in, or he's closing down the central bank in Argentina. And I was just like, wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Like, all right, awesome. And this is his letter or whatever. I apologize that it's not in English. I do have some other stuff on it that's in English, but like,
I mean, he's going to attempt. He still needs to get everybody to agree.
Sure.
It's likely going to be somehow a sweetheart deal he's going to try to make with the IMF and the U.S. government.
That's where I got upset, I guess, is today you shared that last little thing where
he was with the pedo in chief
and meeting with like Federal Reserve type stuff.
Well, that's what you have to do. I mean,
so get rid of a Federal Reserve and meet with another Federal Reserve, like
yes, because the reality at the end of the day is like these are still countries. They still have humongous financial obligations, and the objective of the country is to get out of the financial hellscape that they generated.
So hear me out. So very likely Black Ops American intervention drove Argentina to the collapsing point that it is. Then a World Economic Forum shill pretending to be an anarcho-capitalist comes in to pretend to save the day and uses our corrupt Federal Reserve as the backbone to get away from his collapsing country.
By the way, that's a extremely elaborate plan that if they did do something of that scale, I mean, I want to know who the architect of that plan was, because that's some 5D chess, because it took 20 years.
I mean, sometimes it takes longer than other times to destabilize a country. America's pretty good at doing it. Just maybe some countries are stronger than others.
So, okay, so there's several parts to this, right? So it's not only destroying the grip. Okay, so essentially look at it this way. The criminals in the country are too incompetently evil to control their monetary supply.
Okay.
You remove the control, so you remove the corruption. That's basically a bare bones breakdown of what they're trying to do. They're trying to remove the capability from the people, the government, to print money out of thin air, do things they cannot do, and work outside of a balance sheet that makes sense.
You say the words remove corruption, and then in the same sentence, you sent me this picture right here, bro.
I know. That's also socializing more than anything. Look, I have met friends that met the Clintons. I know he should know by now who Bill Clinton is, but also Bill Clinton has a lot of power we don't know about.
What is how many friends of his and his wife are
56?
I mean, I don't think your odds of being their friend is a good thing.
No. I mean, it's not they're not friends. They're just shaking hands.
Yes, but he's hoping for some sort of friendship, I presume.
Who's hoping for friendship? Sorry, I'm back, guys.
I mean, this is the thing. I'm gonna speak on when you get these photo ops, right? Because I've
we're
literally
talking
been
about the
I've been at these events and these photo ops. 90% of the time, it's sometimes hi, how are you, and literally quick chat, and then they walk away from each other.
So what's the context we're talking about with regard
But
to this?
remember, Hillary was with Big Mike recently, and
Yeah, baby.
and Obama wasn't there. So that's something to ask ourselves questions on. It's like, so
I mean, I got a good
are they
idea of
really
what
gonna
went on.
run? Are they gonna really run Mike for 2024? Because I mean,
Mike and Hillary, Big Mike and Hillary.
Big Mike, Big Mike Clinton.
Wait, sorry guys, you're gonna have to help me out here.
You don't know. You don't know
You
about
don't know
Big Mike.
Big Mike?
You don't know who Big Mike is.
Once again, I'm probably a little bit out of the loop.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to keep you out of the loop, buddy. Okay. So to catch you up a
Terrible
little bit, we were talking about how last week or earlier in the week, the Javier fellow from
Yeah.
Argentina just said he was going to dissolve the central bank in Argentina. That's what he wants to do. But now,
I do remember you mentioning that before we started.
yes, and then Luis sent me this like before we started, and I'm just like, but really, like, why do you want to remove AIDS and replace it with cancer? Like that's something I've never really
Because there was the
comprehended.
alternative, the renminbi, the yuan, which is even worse.
I mean,
There's no option. There's no option B. Because option
Right.
B is literally not a cancer, but like a festering cancer that's already bluing. Like it's like the cancer spreading so bad. Like if China's economy had a shape, I mean, America's economy already looks disgusting, but if China's, like, I have to go on Midjourney and describe it and then try to create an image of it, and then that's China's economy. And then, actually, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to create
Go ahead.
an image that represents
It was leading.
economies.
The conversation led us to talking about Big Mike and Hillary running in 2024. You know, Big Mike. Because that's a rocket in his pocket.
Yes. Could you show the clip from the fun one in the Ellen show? That's kind of the reason why they're called Big Mike.
You mean? Oh man, you mean the one that has
it's in a
something
dance?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, this is the thing. This individual, this human being, never had kids, right? And there's not much known about them, and they suspect certain things about this individual, and that's why they joke. A Big Mike, other than the president-elect Obama, said Mike multiple times in multiple speeches throughout his career in reference to Michelle.
Well,
For reasons nobody understands except Obama, who magically also lost a chef paddleboarding at 4 feet of depth.
Was he hanging out with him and George Clooney and seen something he wasn't supposed to, and they kicked him off?
Yes, check the chat, and all. That's a perfect. That's a picture of the person that was ended under
Mysterious circumstances.
beyond the concept of mysterious circumstances. It literally sounds like a plot for what's that, for a Lifetime movie.
The plot for a Lifetime movie.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Because he went paddleboarding at night.
Why would you? You know what? Rich people are weird, bro. Like, and speaking of rich people,
He's not rich. That was the chef.
yeah, he's the chef. You don't think he's probably still living pretty lavishly? The chef.
I mean,
the chef's gonna be
he's
living, bro.
not living, or he's not living.
Yeah, because he chose to not. He probably seen something that Big Mike had that he wasn't supposed to see. Nothing.
We all
Crickets.
stepped in with that one.
There's so much going on with all that. I don't even know where to begin.
He can't even. You can't even unpack it, huh? It's just all.
My brain's like, yeah. I just.
All right, we need to get you some lion's mane in your system.
I saw that. I will try to pick some of that
So,
up.
I guess. I guess to bounce off subject here a little bit, you
Yes.
know, but in a way, I guess in the same way, we're talking about the same crazy losers that are out there trying to make decisions. Listen, I think all these rich folks that are up there in the United Nations and the World Economic Forum and stuff like that, I personally think they're out of touch. People tell me I'm crazy because I think they're out of touch, but I think they're out of touch with reality. And they've got all these crazy ideas where they think that they're about to try to come over here in the middle of cattle country and tell us that we can't eat steak anymore. And you know, I'm already eating 2 steaks every time I eat a steak, as it is to make up for every vegan that refuses to eat meat.
I only have one thing to say about that.
I already have to eat double the meat to make up for the vegans that don't eat meat. And
Yeah.
now I guess I have to eat triple the meat because they're trying to push it on me. The steak dinners in my future, I guess. Is all I can
Argentina's main
see.
export is meat. Just
Yeah.
for
I can
reference.
I can go get steak right across the street, bro.
So I only have one thing to say in regards to that is I don't want to hear about issues in society and in the I guess in the larger scope of our eco diversity and problems that we have through society that contribute to carbon emissions from people who decide to take private jets to fly to Geneva once or twice a year.
No. It gets worse.
I've got a solution.
People that fly what is a 2-hour drive, they fly for 15 minutes, creating what is the equivalent of a year's worth of a drive experience.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes.
Wait, what? What the hell am I looking at, Jimmy?
Please tell me
this is not real.
Please tell me this is real, because it's Vice. Look at the link. It looks like a very real link, bro. Okay.
It's a real link.
Show us the article, please.
So we should
link to this article, because this is just comedy gold.
Listen, guys. You know we've got to save the. I can't copy it at the moment because I'm sharing, but we've got to save the future here, and we have got to consider
show us the first paragraph and the last paragraph.
I am not sorry that.
Oh my god!
If this is absolutely real, I am not sorry that Vice has filed bankruptcy.
So
lately is that we ought to eat the bugs.
Yeah, I'm not sorry.
I guess this is the alternative to eating the bugs. I'm not sure. They want us to
eat our own shit.
Eat our own poo. And then the last one, you want the last one? Because it seems to be a legit, Soylent discussing
this. I really hope that this is satire and this is not a legitimate.
I don't know. Because it's Vice, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard to discern what's actually legit with Vice, isn't it?
No, Vice it is now owned by another entity, and they're trying to survive by being edgy.
Vice has had no credibility, at least.
But edgy, stupid.
In the last 10 years. Now, when Shane was still working in the field, and they were doing, real journalism, talking about real world issues before they started fucking playing this stupid dildo journalism, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't even know what the hell to make of Vice in the last 7 years or so. But I remember a time when Vice was actually doing real journalism as it relates to the original Ukraine conflict and them trying to expose what was going on with North Koreans having to be subjugated to timber farming inside of Russian borders. I remember those days, and that was
real journalism.
That was real journalism.
I remember Captain Butt Naked.
Yeah,
General Butt Naked.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was
That's a crazy. If you haven't seen it, it's the rare times you can say Vice was decent back then.
they had some measure of credibility once upon a time,
Yeah,
and
The
I can't fault them for that.
The only thing that I ever thought was kind of cool from Vice was when that one dude that seems like a complete whack job now, that David Chow or whatever, went to look for the dinosaur in the Congo.
I do kind of remember something about that bit. Yeah,
It's probably why he's a nut job, but I mean there are totally legends of a brontosaurus walking around the swamps and such of like Congo and deep in the jungle.
but yeah, once upon a time, Vice, I think, in my opinion,
Might have had something going for him.
had some credibility. Yeah,
But now they're just trying to. Now it seems more like they're trying to help promote things like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
yeah,
I don't know if you've seen this, but you can.
this the thing
Yeah,
you
you don't
just
need
put
to
in
be
the chat. Is this the thing that you just sent the link for, Luis?
So this is from the movie Snowpiercer, and it just showcases
it's coffee.
everybody.
It's Folgers coffee.
It's Folgers coffee.
Jesus,
It's
Christ.
Folgers coffee. Just there for you to have delicious, hot and fresh coffee first thing in the morning. Folgers, that's the stuff.
By the way,
Part
the
of
FDA
waking
does
up.
allow a certain amount of bug parts to be in your coffee ground.
As someone who is picky about coffee, I mean super
No,
picky.
I know. Buy the beans. Don't buy them grinded.
And when you do your own compared to when you buy a can of Folgers and you actually know what you're looking for, you actually do begin to see the roach pieces. And you'll never look at a can of Folgers again the same way ever again. Like,
Yeah,
I don't recommend.
I could see that. So I probably sound like a psychopath. I don't really drink coffee, but
No, that's no. I mean,
uh,
that's coherent. Normal people. There's normal people that don't drink it.
I'm sorry, I thought you just said that you didn't drink coffee.
no, I don't drink coffee.
What are you you got your little cup of hot tea? Are you about to tell me something about some fish and chips or something, isn't it?
No, I don't. No, I don't drink coffee, and no, I to be honest, I don't even really drink sweet tea.
Your
I don't.
Cuban grandmother would not approve of you not drinking coffee.
I know. Cuban.
I just want you to know.
Cuban coffee is in a league of its own. So, but I've seen like
The true
little-
espresso.
I can't validate the efficacy of a lot of these, but I've seen some of those clips on TikTok and a few of the reels on YouTube, like people like soaking coffee beans in hot water and watching some of those impurities come out, and it was absolutely vile.
Man,
Luis
made mention to it
a
second ago about it. The FDA does allow the things, and then just here's the tip: places like chock full of nuts and Folgers coffee, they boast about having used the same coffee grinder for all these years, and you think they're actually taking it apart and getting all the roaches out of there? Like coffee, a coffee pot is a place that roaches absolutely love. Like that is one of their number one hot spots. If you've ever had a roach infestation, it's not a pleasant thing in life to go through. Like I can promise you that, because it's a son of a bitch to get rid of them.
I'm sure. I don't have a lot of personal experience with it myself. Just watching a few of those little minute clips, it's just like, wow.
Unfortunately, I've lived in a few apartment complexes, and I've lived in some old trailers out in the middle of the woods that were put there in like the 70s, and they're hot spots for them, especially in the state of Georgia. It's just one of those things that you'll find. I've had to fight with them once or twice in life, and it's not an easy fight. The best way I've found to do it, to be real, is tent and gas the house. It'll get rid of them.
Yeah, well, the gas bombs work.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's the best
If we
route
could,
that I've
so
found.
so how big do you need to make it to cover the entirety of Congress? Like, how big is that tent?
Do
And
you think the
what's the
Ringaling?
perfect
Do you think
amount
the
of time?
Ringaling Brothers Circus has a tent big enough to cover Congress?
Mm.
Do you think they'd be down for this? Like, I would try to get a sponsorship with these guys. What's up, Ringling Brothers? Let's do a collaboration with
I, I think
Dale's
I
Dead
think
Bugs.
I think everybody in DC would chip in.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
They would chip in if they could actually get it, but they have to make sure the infestation is present, so that you know it does its job.
Hey,
In
I
the
mean,
meantime, we can elect ourselves out of tyranny, right?
hey, right, but I guess if you want to jump into some, I guess, conspiratorial type things, here's another one of those random things that we get to say where people were right again. And as much as much as I don't like to get into saying that a certain group of conspiracy type people are right, they were definitely right on this one, and I knew they were all along. But some hackers, Luis shared this with us earlier in the week, and it turns out that some hackers finally proved that the whole Comet Pizza thing was a reality, not just some kind of made up nonsense by people trying to say, "Ooh, look, they're." The Democrats are doing this, and no, bro. If you look, it's probably going to be both sides of the field. But it turns out that it's totally true. Like there was backdoor access and passwords
So
and all
so let
kinds of
me
stuff.
let me tell you a deeper story on this.
All right,
Mr. Robot,
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, the TV show,
Yes.
showcases that he discovers a pedophilic some pedophile network, or like porn, something. He found, like, I forgot the exact thing, but he found something inside of this company's system.
Yeah.
He found it,
Yeah.
and this was several years ago. Mr. Robot predicted so many things. I don't know who the script, in the majority of the script is written by one person. So the show Mr. Robot is written by the creator. Like, the majority of the show was written by the creator, directed by the show is basically let me look up his name.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, the crew loved this guy, the creator of the show. He was very dedicated and very, very good director. Um, Sam Ismail.
Okay.
So this guy wrote a hell of a lot of the episodes, and like there was a point where the show was basically him, so he was 24/7. Like, his life was just around this. But yeah, this show predicted a lot of things that were happening. They were so good
Well,
that there was once an episode where an executive committed suicide, and in real life an executive committed suicide, and they were like, yeah, we can't air this. That just happened.
there's been a bunch of shows that did things like this. There's missing episodes of different shows because because like they kind of lean towards explosions and stuff that were like 9/11-esque, and they had to cut this and that out. And I think I want to say X-Files is one of them, and there was something else to do with another show that had episodes canceled because they were like, no, this is too close to what just happened here. Even though Hollywood is full of a bunch of evil, crazy, sadistic people, like,
But there's good
I,
people.
I think there's still some good people in there for sure. Don't get me wrong. And I think there are some people in there that have been secretly trying to give us messages for years. Like that one dude, his name fleets me at the moment, but everybody's familiar with the video where he's like, you don't know why you're seeing this, destroy your television, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, yeah. That's from an obscure movie in the first place,
Yeah.
and the actor's dead.
Yeah, he is.
But
And that clip didn't come out
yeah,
until after he died.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I never followed who he was, but it's in like you can tell he's legitimately looking straight at the camera and being extremely serious.
Right. It's interesting. And then there's other people out there that aren't on a certain person's little black book or flight logs for that matter. So, I figure if their name's not on there, there's a little bit of ray of hope for them being a halfway decent human being.
What's a very famous person that you would think was on the plane but wasn't on the plane?
Wait, on to go there?
On the list? On the
Oh,
list?
on the list, bro?
Because on the manifest, I mean, our friend John has been reading that manifest, and holy heck,
I
there's a lot of people in there.
I never found Woody Harrelson on there, so I'm super happy about that.
Oh, that's good. No, it's now search. It's now it's an Excel file, dude. You can now search it. I think I have it. I think.
I've looked through most of it.
Are you asking who you wouldn't think would be on that list?
This is the thing that you went to the island doesn't mean you did anything. Now,
What if you went
problem
26
is-
times?
That's different.
I would, yeah.
If you
Now-
went there once, maybe
I mean,
the twice
there's
is
a-
kind of sketchy. Depending on
There's
what
a
happened.
question of guilt by association, right?
But
Sure.
after the
there's-
second try,
Sure.
Right. Like fool me once, shame on me.
Sure.
Fool me twice, shame on you.
so wait, what's 26 times?
What's 26 times?
26 times is
Yeah.
20th.
something really
Actually-
going on. All right.
Okay, I gotta ask ChatGPT.
Alright.
How do you get full 26 times?
All right.
What's that called?
I'll give the
It's
name that
science,
I
we must
hope
know.
would never have been on it, just because I have a lot of respect for him professionally. You respect the art, you respect the character, not necessarily the person. Philip Seymour Hoffman be somebody from the Hollywood aspect, be somebody that I would
Okay.
hope not be involved in some of those shenanigans. But very talented actor, very great at what he does. So I mean, yeah, he was a fantastic actor.
So I want to say the joke what ChatGPT said. If you were to extend the phrase creatively, it might be something like, "You fool me 26 times, but seriously, a pattern of gullibility or deceit. This would imply that after being deceived so many times, the situation has gone beyond a normal mistake or making suggestion of more significant issues. Either way, the person's ability to discern the truth or with persistence and deceitfulness of other parties." What the heck? Okay, the point is, yeah, it's impossible after 26 times they're telling you the truth.
I think that it's impossible after 26 times that it could just be an accident like that.
No. It gets worse. There's one log where it's basically they were in Rwanda and then they went to Epstein's Island.
Oh Jesus!
Rwanda.
The implications of that are fucking disgusting, and I don't even want to open that can of
Yes,
worms.
but there would be a little darker tone. It would be the difference. That's it.
Wow.
This is a side project page that I have called "Release the List," and this meme went bananas over there for me, like just screwing around.
Jesus Christ! I don't even know what to do with this.
Oh, I mean,
All right. So
it is what it is. It needs to be. It needs. I think
right.
I think that the fact that there has been a lady inside of prison now for. Hang on,
They're
I
trying
can
to
give you an
kill
exact
her
thing.
this week, right?
I can. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, she ain't
So,
dead
so
yet.
there's been a lady. There's been a lady that was sentenced for human trafficking 538 days ago, and still no one has been on trial for buying them from her. Like, I don't understand that. And,
She
and then
trafficked thousands of children to no one.
thousands of children to no one, and like, and then yes, today when I was
Overmodulated. 1 second.
when I was hanging out today when I was hanging out at the grocery store because I needed to go make a grocery store run, I totally seen this over there on the globe. I'm not sure how true it is, but we don't know how true anything is. But there was totally that she had a run in with somebody trying to
Look, Men in Black
assassinate her.
accidentally was trying to say a truth. It is that these rags sometimes post the truth. Remember when they were posting about Hillary Clinton being gay?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now we have a lot of evidence showcasing that she
But
likely is.
but is it gay? Because Big Mike has got something swinging there. So like,
I mean, this whole look, if that were true, if Big Mike is a real thing, my God, the level of fuckery that these people have been able to accomplish, it is award winning. They need Oscars. They all need Oscars.
the world is a stage. I mean,
I mean, yes, politics is Hollywood for ugly people, but still, if you were able to play that role, and the majority of people believed it, the world believed it, you
Yeah.
fooled
I did
everybody
not
around you.
have sexual relations with that woman.
Remember,
everybody
okay,
believed
so let me tell
that.
you. No. Hear me out. That's a performative with that woman. Now, he likely literally pointed at a random woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a performative in politics is I'm saying this about that. So I'm saying
Jimmy, you absolutely love that soundboard, don't you?
I can't help myself.
so for example, you're saying I have never slept with that woman, and you randomly point at a random woman.
So if I would,
I know you're talking about the subject, but you tell your brain I'm talking about that woman. So your face tells the audience
the truth,
a truth
yeah.
because I'm pointing to that woman. And a performative is
You know,
saying this about
but
that, but not speaking about the subject, but speaking about a subject adjacent to the subject.
but is that not like, is that not playbook politics? And like not just U.S.
Yes.
politics,
But it's something that's not really explained publicly. I've never
No,
heard anybody
absolutely
really
not,
discussing it when I'm discussing politics and the methodologies of lying. Nobody
Right.
speaks about performatives, which are one of the key techniques of politicians. But not every politician's good at it. Like
Yes.
if
Yeah.
then this JFK evidently was really good. George W. Bush, Obama, like you can see in
Reagan
their performance.
was
Trump
Well,
Reagan. may have
Reagan
been-
was an actor.
Trump couldn't try to do
Yeah.
it because he just literally tells you the truth, which is hilarious.
What right, but in posturing information, like Reagan was definitely the best as a character actor on a stage.
And apparently his old lady was the throat goat of Hollywood.
Reagan was also bi.
No. His old lady.
I still to this day,
No, but he
I
was
will
Oh, I
never,
believe that.
I
He
will
went
never
both
let
ways.
Oh, I
that
believe
one
that.
down. That Seth MacFarlane was onto something when he did his whole bit with Reagan and shit, the Soviet guy. Shit, I don't even remember his name right offhand.
Your brain had an error there. It's okay.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not thinking clearly at the moment.
Dude, as long as you don't get a blue screen, we're good.
Yeah, I don't. Gorbachev.
You gotta rest.
Gorbachev. Sorry, had to Google
please
it.
restart the server.
Yeah.
When we're finished, we have to restart the server and get a rest.
Yeah.
Or just don't shut it down.
Yeah.
Don't shut it down.
Well,
Reagan and
you know you
Reagan
can't
and
shut it down.
Gorbachev. Yeah.
On
Family
a-
Guy got
Reagan,
that one
Gorbachev.
right, 100%.
on a
I wonder where
completely
you were going with that, Luis. I just could not remember the guy's name.
on a
Gorbachev.
completely separate note, though, I got okay. So if Bandit was here, he'd back me up in saying this. I know Neptune hears me say it from time to time, but in the world going on, I'm always saying that Kim Jong is the wild card. of the world because everybody's worried about all these big power
Uh,
companies and stuff, these big power nations and stuff like this. And I don't know, but I like to check in on my little round buddy from time to time because I'm totally trying to get myself banned from North Korea, but that's a separate conversation for another day. The
You should talk to Michael Malice.
Right, exactly. So the apparently they're getting all scrimmagey and moving heavy equipment down to the border down there. What's Kim up to today?
He wants attention. He's such an attention whore.
Isn't he? He's like Cartman. That's what he reminds me of. A real life
He literally
Cartman.
is the human in personification of Cartman. The only good thing he's done for himself is he lost weight. Sadly, he's not going to die anytime soon of heart attacks.
Aw.
He stopped doing all the drugs and lost weight.
Aw. Well, that's good for him. I mean, I can't complain too much there.
I have to think about this, though I think
all the work Trump did has been thrown down the toilet.
Well,
the
you see,
the Abraham Accords, the de-escalation that he did in North Korea.
Right. So
like,
I didn't even
doing it all fast.
I was not even going to mention him by name, and I'm definitely not in a position that I can definitely speak about this at length today. But I've got a lot of close personal relationships to Korea, so I have a little bit of a vested interest in this. That for the sake of North Korea, it's probably a flexing contest more than anything else. North Korea doesn't want to go to war with the South or with the rest of the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Crushed in like hours. They don't have the technology.
They don't have the technology, but more it would be the matter of, okay, yes, I know I'm probably going to wind up having myself annihilated in the process, but I have the ability of me mutually assured destruction. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
and you know, for a lot of nuclear capable nations, that's always been the case. For North Korea in particular, there was a lot of progress that was made between 2017 and 2019. So, at least to your point,
yeah,
yes,
that's what sucks. Like this is the thing. We need to make peace profitable again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. We need to make peace profitable again. We need to tell these psychotic people, hey, you know peace is profitable.
Right.
It really is.
Part of me thinks, and this is speaking to what I think of that entire situation, and a lot of this bleeds into my own personal beliefs because my old man served in Korea and he was involved in the direct action at Chosin Reservoir, is that he had always hoped that there might be peace. Pretty much everybody that was there, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, they had all hoped that there might be peace eventually. And there probably is a stake in that, but a lot of that probably comes down to who's willing to come to the table to talk first.
Look, it could be at the end of the day, Mr. Beast will be the savior of the human race, and he's literally named Mr. Beast because he will be creator of the mark of the beast. And we already know who the Antichrist is. It's called Mr. Beast. He'll bring world peace.
If there's a peacemaker between the West and Korea, it's gonna be Dennis fucking Rodman somehow, and we already knew this, right? We all knew this to be
Rodman,
true.
is this still becoming relevant?
He is
in
still
this situation?
relevant.
I don't know.
Yes, he is.
They're still friends?
Because Kim Jong still, like his father, he loves basketball. And that's still a thing. So, I don't know. There's so many layers to that.
I remember for a while the sister was taking command of things, and her sister is like ruthless and started killing people.
Right.
I think it was his sister that literally there's animations of her like pure evil. Like
Yeah.
she is
Like,
super evil compared to his brother.
Oh yeah.
She's the one
I
that
heard.
murdered like a couple of people in the cabinets and such.
yeah,
Absolutely.
there are so many layers to that. We could spend a whole episode talking about that, and I'm definitely not
Hey,
like.
hey.
Just to be clear,
That
I'm
sounds
not
like an
going
idea.
to
We can
have a whole
we can
discussion.
do one.
about that
We can do
topic.
one of our recorded specials directly about my buddy Kim there, because again, I'm trying to find a way to get myself put on a no, not allowed to go visit Kim list,
Oh my
because I
god!
heard it's a thing that's real, and if I can get myself, banned from there too, it'll be a new
All
record
right,
of places I'm banned from.
Okay, so one other thing before I stop talking about that subject is we were talking about Vice a little bit ago, right? And I was talking about the glory days of Vice. Giggity. So there are a few episodes of Vice from the very early days where Shane Smith, the CEO of Vice, he actually was able to get himself inside of North Korea, and he's also the
Yes.
one that he had it up when they went to Russia to find the North Korean the timber farmers.
Yes.
And there's a whole thing about that, and that is what I consider for Vice's sake. I consider that the real heyday is. I was so invested in that. I followed all of those, and I still have so much of an interest in following all of the aspects of how that unfolded, because Shane actually got himself on the shit list where he was not able to go back to North Korea, and it's interesting because he had gone to so much, he had gone to such lengths to kind of expose what was going on inside of North Korea that when it finally got back to the North Korean delegation, that he was no longer allowed to enter the country.
There's I've heard of a couple people that have got themselves banned from North Korea, and I've always been like, that would be a fun route to go on to see what would happen. So,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be worth giving it a try, but who knows? But I do know that this week, of course, I've been trying to bring you guys something wild from my tales of conspiracy world and stuff. I've been thinking really hard and long, and as a lot of us do, I guess, about different things in the world as far as the heads of dragons, I guess you would call it. A lot of people turn against and look towards that one thing that likes to give people shots we were talking about earlier, and I don't think that's the head of the dragon. I'm going to be real with you. You want to know what the head of the dragon is in the medical industrial complex? The dental industry. Hear me out. These dudes have all this pull. Like, all these dentists get to approve all these different things that are dentist approved by usually like 9 out of 10 of them or whatever. Okay. But like, they also know, like they're also on the same side of companies that are lobbying for terrible things to be put in your food so that your teeth keep coming back, so that you keep showing back up to get your teeth looked at and forking over money. And then eventually to the point where you're just having to, fork over all this money and get like new teeth in general, period. And I know we have a terrible diet as it is. If you go back to the 70s,
I think you're
Americans,
overestimating dentistic collective expression and
I think
expressional intelligence.
I think that's what they're up to. I think they're trying to lay low and pretend like they're the bottom of the pool there, but I think they're secretly the ones pulling the strings. That's how it works, like the leader isn't actually the person that you see isn't actually the person that's doing it. It's always like the what's her name? The receptionist. The receptionist is actually secretly the person pulling the strings. You know what I'm saying? Like in the background. It's so the same with this here. What if the dentist is the head of the medical industrial complex dragon? Like what? Like this is just this is just me. I know I'm as crazy as I can be when it comes to a lot of things, but it's something to think about and something to look at because the dental industry makes some of the most money in across the board when it comes to a lot of the things in the medical industry because there's so much to do there.
They make a lot of money. American American dentists and people in that industry make good money, more than many other countries. For some reason, English people, for example, don't go as much to the dentist, and their teeth are kind of screwed up.
Well, I mean,
because
okay,
they don't go.
our teeth are so screwed up in modern times because
Because
we
of
have
the food.
evolved smaller mouths because of all of the processed food that we eat and stuff like
We-
that. Like
You
that's why back
basically
in the
have to
day we
give
had
your
people.
children chewy food.
Yes,
You can't give them soft food. Whatever stupid doctor decided to say, give your children soft food.
they completely interrupted. They completely
What?
interrupted our mouth growth. That's why
It's
everybody
insane.
needs braces and stuff. Like that's a real thing. You can actually look in. That's not conspiratorial. Like
No, you have to give your kids like chewy food so it can grow, so their entire mouth grows properly. Like, well, so the studies that have been showing basically said that you have to give your kids gum to chew. You have to give them
Mhm.
something to chew.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, sugar-free gum, because if not, they'll rot their teeth. But give them a chewing habit. It sounds
They-
really ridiculous, but it'll give them really nice jaws.
my two oldest ones had like a chewing tick, I guess you would call it. And
No, they're
instead
gonna
of
have great mouths.
well, my lady invested in things that were actually created for people that have that tick. Like they hang on a necklace. They come in many different shapes, and instead of like putting their hair in their mouth or chewing on their nails or whatever, they would have this necklace that was made for them to chew on. And it's like a sensory thing, but like, yeah, you're right. Like they're gonna have a good mouth because they spent a couple of years doing that whole chew thing. Like that's a real thing. Like that it
No, that can't be real. It's happened. It's finally happened.
It finally happened. I'm sorry to break up the
No. That's the
break
most
up the
beautiful
flow
news of the
here.
day.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Looks
my
like
gosh.
Bandit may have posted something on the page while we were here.
No.
And I just went to double check this while you boys were talking. Henry Kissinger, the godfather of the Warhawks, is dead.
The world is a little more peaceful.
Yes.
No way.
Amen.
Are you,
The scum
so
of the
wait,
earth.
are you telling me that it's time, Neptune? Is it time?
Is it time
You
for a
had it.
crab rave?
Is it time for
It,
You
it
have
might
it?
be time for a crab rave.
Oh, you know I have it on deck, like right now, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music cue. Try to cue in. We need the music.
That was Vidania, you fucking asshole.
We have to hear this music.
I couldn't help myself, man. I
It has
couldn't
to
help
come-
myself.
We couldn't hear the music, but
Oh,
yes.
it's all right. We got to see it.
Sorry to break the monotony of that, but I just saw that.
Oh no,
It was
please.
just posted. And
Wow, that's epic,
Title
actually.
this episode Kissinger is
I'm going over to our page right quick to go check this out. You said he posted it on our page.
yeah, it looks like it was
No, I
posted
looked it
on,
up.
It was
He's
posted
dead.
on the Facebook page, yeah.
Oh, I see what he
it's on
posted. It's
mainstream.
amazing.
Uh-huh.
Oop, I apologize. Wrong button.
I had to go double check to be absolutely sure.
What so if you were to give it a title, man responsible for the death of 50 million dies.
Hooray! No more Henry Kissinger.
The best one yet. Holy shit! I just got
That was the meme. That was the meme, and I had to go back and look. I was like, "Please tell me this is please tell me this is real." And sure enough,
Oh my god. So, well, I mean, the unexpected news is great to add to the show. I guess it added a few more minutes, but of course, actually, I was getting prepared for everyone's new favorite segment of the show that we started last week. Unfortunately, there's only 2 of you here this week, but I still think we can have some fun with it.
It would be more fun if you could play as well, but
Of course. Yeah, folks out there that are tuning in wherever you're watching from. Again, I appreciate all you folks out there on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, on Odyssey, and on Kick. You guys, if you tuned in last week, we started playing what we're going to title Pirates Against Humanity, which we're basically playing Cards Against Humanity on live, where I'm going to ask these guys a few automatically generated black card questions, and I've sent them some answer questions that they can feed me an answer with. Because it's only the 2 of them, I did only send them like 7 cards this go around instead of the full 10, just so that we can play it a little bit quick. But it was so fun that I absolutely planned on doing it again this week. Unfortunately, Steven's not here with his false claim to me of trying to eat 500 chicken nuggets on this live, which really sucked because I was hoping he was going to sit here and eat 500 chicken nuggets with us while we got to play this game, but he's not here tonight. And then Bandit kind of dipped out on me too. I think it's because he was scared that I was going to intentionally give him a bad shuffle of cards after him letting me know that the time frame of like the 80s to now, and like what was it, the 40s or something to the 80s, or it was something that was like the same amount of time, and I was just like, dude, quit your crap, like don't remind me how old I am. So without further ado, you guys have your cards ready, of course.
yep.
I already dealt them out to you. Awesome. So of course I'm gonna
fun with 2. We need to have more.
It is not. It is not. I know, unfortunately. In fact, but I do know what I dealt to you guys. So because there's only 3 of us, I'm gonna throw myself into the mix this evening as well too. Just because I know what cards were sent this direction tonight. They are just kind of generated the way that I did them. I found this website called cardsagainsthumanity.generator.com, and it has pages and pages and pages of cards. So it makes it easy for me to hop on here and have these ready to go for when we're ready to play or whatever. So tonight's first generated card that come out of this one is: what's harder than prison? Neptune?
Give me a second.
Well, I'll go first then. The first card that I drew out of my screenshot deck is your sad little naked body.
What's harder than 9/11?
What's harder than prison?
What's harder than prison?
Prison.
Putting wheel locks on wheelchairs.
Luis?
Fucking while watching Schindler's List.
Okay. I'm gonna give that one to Luis. That one's all right.
Oh,
I had some really messed up ones last week.
Oh, you'll have a chance.
All right, so the next card to generate over here on my end is
All right.
when I blacked out, I woke up with I've got a ski mask made from Disney underoos.
What?
When I blacked out, I woke up with a ski mask made from Disney underoos.
Performing sex acts learned from Urban Dictionary.
Luis?
Getting a yeast infection in your belly button.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. These are, I mean, again, I think it is a whole lot better when we have more people. That's why I'm throwing myself into the mix this evening, just for the extra to it. But like, these are so good. Oh, okay. Here it is. I knew it was gonna happen. We got a double card. So I apologize now. My new favorite porn is Dr. Blank and the Multiverse of Blank.
New favorite porn is Dr. Blank.
I got it.
All right, I've got. All right, everybody ready? I guess then.
It's Dr. Blank and the universe of Blank.
Yes.
Give me a second.
All right, I'm gonna throw mine that I got. I got two things my two answers that popped up. My new favorite porn is Dr. Assless Chaps and the multiverse of making dick-shaped cookies.
That was perfectly fitting.
I thought it was pretty good.
Well, what is it again? Dr. what?
My new favorite porn is Dr.
Ginger Balls.
And the multiverse of
Racist Ninjas.
You ready, Neptune?
I do. I'm just trying to figure out how to actually say this because I'm still stumbling over my words, but yes.
You're fine.
All right. So my new favorite porn is Dr.
Performing sex acts learned from Urban Dictionary.
And the multiverse of
lying to terminally ill children about their life expectancy.
Oh my god! One.
Why not?
One
Why not
more.
let it, kids?
One more.
Yeah,
If there's any left.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Should be enough cards that we should have one more.
Yep.
So the generated card to come up is I was buried to the hilt in blank last night. I got a card for my answer already, so when you guys are ready, let me know.
Repeat that. Run that one back by me one more time.
I was buried to the hilt in blank last night.
Okay, this tracks. Okay, I'm going with this one.
You ready?
Yep. I'm good.
All right. I was buried to the hilt in George Zimmerman knocking up Casey Anthony last night.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
All right, you ready? I was buried to the hilt in
Secretly wishing I was born on September 11th.
Jesus Christ. Luis.
I was buried in Rednexploitation.
I was buried to the hilt in blank.
Rednexploitation.
Rednexploitation. That's a good one. Okay.
Okay.
Hey. No. I do wish Steve. I think Steven and Bandit are intentionally trying to lay out because they're scared to play the game with us because of the things that they might have to say online.
Oh, please. As if they've not said more incriminating things already. I mean...
This is true. I mean, they are...
There's a reason why there was a video interview of me that got banned from YouTube in literally 2 hours.
When we can all get together, like
we're
not
playing
just
this in real life.
Jimmy and myself. Yeah, I've still got some Cards Against Humanity custom cards that have not been filled out yet. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun night.
So, I guess the only other thing I really had this evening on my end was I don't know if you guys have seen recently, but have you heard the story about the girl who drove 100 miles an hour into a brick wall and killed her boyfriend and his best friend?
No, I can't
Sounds
say I have.
familiar for some reason, but not sure.
So this chick, it turns out after all of the documents and stuff are coming out or whatnot in this court case that her and the boyfriend had been fighting pretty heavily leading up to this, and she was driving the vehicle and got extremely angry, lost her crap, and drove at 100 miles an hour into a brick wall. It killed the boyfriend and his best friend. She ended up surviving, and like after it happened, she there's videos of her out there where she's laughing about it, where she's like, "Oh, haha," and now she's going to prison. She got 2 life sentences for killing for killing these 2 guys. I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. I'm trying to pull it up. I had a link in it earlier when I was looking at it, but I had seen a video on it just before we got on. It was one of the last things I seen tonight, and figured I'd bring it up over here. It's definitely something that's don't let emotions get in your way while you're driving, for sure, because you can just take people's lives unexpectedly like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cool, especially after my buddy Neptune here surviving hitting a deer at 70. So, I mean,
And I feel very fortunate for that.
oh yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's crazy to think that somebody would do that. Like intentionally drive themselves into the brick wall like that. I happened to actually finally find the article while I was sitting here. She's
Anyone can do that on purpose.
she's 19 years old, and she's been sentenced to 2 life sentences for killing him, for being guilty of the death.
So,
She's got 12 counts total, 4 counts of murder.
wow.
This happened up in Ohio. Of course, it doesn't surprise me. Ohio, Mackenzie, that's her name. Yeah, it's a pretty messed up thing, man. Like somebody's life cut short because they were arguing in a toxic relationship. It definitely not worth it. You know what I mean? And it comes both ways. Men always catch so much flack as us being the aggressors, and look what happened there. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be an ass, but it happens on the other side too, a lot more than is talked about.
100%. But
Yep.
it's not. It doesn't play on the narrative.
It does not.
Yeah, we'll need a whole episode about that, Jimmy. But
I'd love to have our buddy Libertarian Jesus over here to have that conversation, because he's a big advocate for men's rights. Like he's all about that and such. And I mean, I am too. It sucks in this day and age that it is the way that it is with a lot of that stuff. And don't be scared to speak up. That's all I can say. Even from a man's point of view, like, who cares if everybody wants to give you, haze you about it or whatever, bro? Like, if you've got a violent female in your life like that, it's probably best to get yourself out of that situation before you wind up like these 2 gentlemen did.
Yeah.
Sure. So, but of course, you guys know, as I like to, at the end of our evening, I like to go around and see if there's anything that you would like to bring up before we get out for the evening and shut things down. Of course, as usual, thank you guys for coming on over here this evening. And I can't believe, while we were here live on the show, that Henry Kissinger finally kicked the bucket. Like, it's been 100 years. It's been 100 years in the making.
In the way,
like,
yes, literally title the episode 100 years in the making.
100 years in the making. Like,
HK is gone. And put a picture of like the meme as the title.
Crab rave to go with
This
it.
episode deserves like to honor the passing of a horrible
in the
like,
honor
we're happy
of
he's
all
gone.
in honor of all the people that have died as a result of Warhawks like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a documentary you gotta watch. It's
Rest in Hell,
War.
Henry Kissinger.
Hell, that's right.
I think he got a ticket to a place deeper than the 9th level because he sent so many people down there.
For real.
You have to
Oh,
have
my
a
Lord.
special direct flight.
Yeah, for real.
So, Neptune, is that all you got for me? Got any? Either of you guys got
I-
anything for me?
I don't. I'm good. I don't have anything, man. Appreciate it.
It's the flu sisu sisu. So take your vitamin D3. Take 10,000 units per day minimum. Vitamin D3, 10,000 units per day minimum. It'll help fight seasonal depression, and it'll keep your skin well, your body healthy, and technically we need 20,000 units per day. So 10,000 isn't even the what should be the dosage. It's just you get it in your food too and such. But the lethal dose for vitamin D3 is 283,000. So you'll never even come close to lethal dose, but also don't overdo it because there's other side effects. But vitamin D3, take it.
Oh, you know, there's always that's a good thing to get in on. If Bandit was here, I know he'd back me in talking about getting yourself some fire cider. It's something I truly recommend you looking into. It's good for immune health as well. Like there's all kinds of natural oregano oil, man. Like it's a magic antibiotic they don't tell you about. Like there's all kinds of good stuff out there. There's some books that I can recommend. I've recommended videos that are floating around out there. You can also check out some of our friends in Liberty. They have stuff that talks about like that. Specifically Peachy Key Creations, that's somebody you guys can reach out to and will totally give you some herbal advice. She's an herbalist and knows exactly what she's talking about. You can find all the links to her and other of our friends in Liberty, because I did finally fix links, over at our website on unconstitutionalawakening.com. We've got links for all of our friends in Liberty over there, as well as links to get back to all of our social media that was just ticking across the bottom there a few seconds ago. If you were paying attention, there's links to find us over there at Facebook, where you could probably be watching us right now, as well as links to find us on Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. We try to have something a little bit going on over there. I try to post. I'm just such a busy fella, guys. But of course, be sure to visit unconstitutionalawakening.com for any of the links that were shared during this episode. I will make sure that they go on there with the post for this episode over there, so that you guys can go back and check out this stuff for yourself if you couldn't read it on the screen. I try to make sure that everybody gets their hands on all that good stuff when I'm out here sharing, doing what I'm doing to make sure that it works for you guys. So I do appreciate all you folks that are tuning into our live, man. I know there's folks tuning in on Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, Kick, and Odyssey. And I greatly appreciate all you folks that tuned in this evening to watch our nonsense and shenanigans for the night. Of course, you know I cannot sign out any night at all without giving you guys something funny to laugh at. Even if you've laughed throughout the night, I've always got to drop one more one-liner for you guys. So what did Cinderella do when she reached the ball? Anyone?
I got nothing.
Oh, I know where you're going.
She gagged. You guys have a great night. Thank you.